I am not actually as intrigued by the nature of reality and whether indeed we are living in what some people call base reality, as I am with the enduring human doubt that we live in base reality, that what our senses show us is indeed the real thing. But I do sometimes wonder about the nature of reality. A few mornings ago, I was sitting at my desk in front of a digital photograph of a bowl of peaches that's just off screen there, with my VR headset in the background, and I was about to use my stylus that would generate digital ink to make digital writing on digital paper. And I thought of myself as not unlike Major Tom floating in a tin can. Not perhaps far above the earth, but certainly on a little planet that's in a vast expanse of interstellar space. I often say that I am an aimless wanderer in time and space. But I wondered, what does that mean? There are quite eminent astrophysicists like Sir Roger Penrose, who says that time has no meaning and no end, and there are artists like Salvador Dali who agree with him, and it does seem sometimes that space is this great whirly thing that can be kind of folded in on itself, and well, it's just confusing if you think about it that way. I had, of course, thought about the oddities of reality off and on for many years because, well, when I was in college, we were taught to consider Plato's Cave, and how only those of us who were highly educated could really understand reality, that for most people it was just shadows reflecting of the real world out there. And this came back to haunt most of us lately in the Matrix, which I find fascinating, because in the real world of the Matrix, life is sort of Hobbesian and short and brutal and nasty, or whatever it is, and it's in the world of the Matrix that all the fun stuff takes place. And it seems that more and more people are taking refuge back into some sort of a cage or another. I thought I had a photograph of my digital cave. There it is. You see, it's always a bright, sunshiny day in my digital cave. But of course, it's not real. I was, by the way, pondering about this stuff on the Day of the Dead, and I had considered being old school and writing a blog post, but I was too lazy. It was a lot easier just to click on images on a screen. I like to think that I am some sort of a cyberpunk superstar. And that, again, brings up the whole issue of who are we really. We make so many different sort of avatars of ourselves that we present to the world, And we think of these as usually something that happens in video games, where I like to think that I'm the young shirtless dude running free through an open world, where in reality I'm a fat old man who needs a stick pretty much to walk. But they happen also, of course, in novels. I have a friend back in the old country who who has an avatar he calls John Heartbreak, and he writes about his avatar in the third person. Now, I also have an avatar. Let's see if it's here. Oh, I think it's here, in which, I'm an artsy-fartsy kind of dude, painting a lovely world. But it may also very well be that most of the world sees the, where is it? Somewhere here. There's a picture of my digital clone, I guarantee you, but I don't see it right now. The problem, of course, is whether my digital twin, whether my digital twin has an agency and is running around passing captchas as me and doing something entirely different from what I would want it to do. Now, I watched the other night a rerun of a fascinating movie called Drome. It's from 1983, David Cronenberg, and it is it's an interesting video in many ways, movie in many ways. He's talking about the future in which we get kind of swallowed up by our technology, eaten by the screen. Ever feel like the screen has eaten you? And there's a character in it that is sort of a misappropriation of Marshall McLuhan, who suggests that we should indulge in the all the experiences that are available to us in this new procedurally generated, digitally generated, lustfully generated world. Lots of porn here. And there's also, of course, an overlord and someone who wants to keep us from veering from proper path. And I find it fascinating how often we think that there must be some sort of an overlord in this virtual reality. I wonder if this is because we have a hang-up with the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. Life as we live it in what we think of as the real world is pretty random and often painful, and if we could somehow enter a reality in which everything looked like it does in my digital cave, well, wouldn't that be sweet? But of course, there's also more and more people who think that we are indeed being played, that we live in some sort of simulated universe and we're just simulating being swallowed up by our televisions. And of course, there's also the possibility that this sweet little kid in some parallel universe, one of Roger Penrose's other places, how did I get back, is herself being played by an alien somewhere else. Or, these universes may be overlapping. This alien may be in the tin can down the road. I have no way of knowing that. That is the problem with all of this, is that epistemology is curious, but basically unsolvable. There are lots of theories promulgated by folks a lot more intelligent than I am. And I think, for the day-to-day life, I just try to remain calm and try not to bark my shins, and consider that probably if it don't go bang in the night, it ain't real. But, I am surrounded by all of these doubts about whether we live in the real world or not. And there does seem to be a lot of evidence that what seems to be the real world is a jumbled mess. And, well, wouldn't it be nice if I had super kung fu powers and weren't it all fat and wore black leather and had a black leather clad girlfriend and we all had dark glasses and the world around us was a green screen. You know, is there an architect behind it who is running all this show? Well, there is, of course, as far as I can tell, no way of knowing. What I found fascinating is that the kid who was generating, who made the video about the, that's just a random photograph. I don't even remember why I put there. Anyway, who made the video about Drome was claiming that somehow we could choose real reality. Now, you know, there are questions about whether or not it was indeed the red pill or the blue pill that led one to the real reality. And I'm, according to the Platonic theory, a philosopher king, I guess. I'm overeducated. Well, I guess 4 degrees, is that right? 4 degrees and an honorary doctorate. I'm still confused. I still wonder sometimes if I just don't have my head stuck in a television screen. Well, I would be curious to hear what you think about how we can determine the reality of reality, if there is such a thing, or whether or not you indeed think this whole commotion is just nonsense. Meanwhile, I'm going to just try to remain calm and drink my coffee and eat my bananas and enjoy my life, even if it is just simulated. Well, thanks for watching, and like and subscribe and all those other things. It'll, you know, make my head and the screen a happy head. And I hope to see you in another video soon.